Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make our consonants. And vowels are a bit trickier. They're smaller circles, and they kind of change their location depending on what vowel they are, and if they're enclosed on one of these 4 vowel stems. So this is like an E by itself, a B with an E in it, because this is the B stem, a J with an E in it, J, T-E-T-H-E. So yeah, makes the most sense in practice. So let's go ahead and look at our design. So Sherman's script is generally read bottom going counterclockwise, but if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise would just be like left to right before the circle curved up. So anyway, this one is oriented left to right. So you'd read this circle, then this one, this one, this one, this one, and then this one. There's no punctuation in this design, so I have the bottom half of the thingy clipped off. Normally I have this guide up, but I don't for this one because this one makes more sense. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start going through this letter by letter. So here's our first word. Here's the bottom of the word circle. This is the first stem you hit. It's the shallow divot stem, and on it there's 3 dots. 1, 2, 3 dots. So that is an R. And there's a smaller circle enclosed in it, so we're looking at R stems. And it's got a completed circle with a line going outwards, so it's a U, because the line's going outwards. So R-U, and then we have, continuing around, this completed circle inside the word circle here, with 1 line, so that's an N, because the line, they can pass through it and not count. It's only when it ends that it counts, so here's the N's line. So R-U-N. And then here's our next word circle here. This one's kind of tricky because the word circle's kind of small and there's like a lot of other stuff going on around it. But this is the word circle. Here's the bottom of it. And you don't hit the first stem until up here. It's the circle on the line of the word circle. And closest to it, there are these 1, 2 dots. So these 3 dots are closer here. This one is on this line. This one's on this line. There's a lot of dot stuff happening here. But these 2 dots are the only dots closest to this stem. So that makes it a Y with an O attached to it, because O's are like a bead on a string, and they are hanging out on the line of the word circle. Not of the word circle. They're on the line of the consonant stem, and they're generally towards the middle. If they were outside on this stem, it would look like an A. Anyway, so it's inside on this stem. So Y, O, and then last but not least, we have the U with the line going outwards, just like this one. So here's the U's line. So U, and then here's our next word. So we have the bottom here, and this double line is our first stem. So it's a double line, so it's double letter, but the stems aren't the same thickness, so they're not going to be the same letter. So we read thin to thick. So this thin line, let's go ahead and check it out. So there's some lines passing through it, but like I said, only lines that end on it count, and none of the lines end on it. What we do see is 1, 2 dots actually on this stem. So that's a K. And in this script, you only use the letter C if it's in an acronym or in a proper noun where it needs to be a C. Otherwise, if it's a C that goes K, you use a K. So this is a K. And then we have this thick one with 1, 2, 3 dots. So that's an L with an E in the middle of that, like that. So K-L-E. And then we have the shallow divot with 1 line. So that's a V with another E on the line here. And then this stem with 1, 2, 3 dots closest to it, because this one's closer here than to here. So clever. And then we have our next word down here. Here's the bottom of the word circle, so this is the first stem. It is a deep divot with nothing on it other than the O, so that's a B. The O is, again, like a bead on a string hanging out on that B stem, just like this O on the Y. So B, O, and then we have another Y. So it's a circle on the line with 2 dots, just like this Y circle on the line of the word circle with 2 dots. So 2 dots on the Y. Then we have this word. Here is the A, the bottom of the word circle. It's a small circle outside the word circle, so it's an A. And then we have this. It's a big circle inside the circle with 1 line, so that's an N, just like this N. And last but not least, we have this D, 1, 2, 3 dots on a deep divot. Is a D, so and then we have our last word here. Here's the bottom of the word circle. It's got lines passing through, but again, it's just the dots that count because the line passes through it. 1, 2, 3 dots. So that is another R. Excuse me. Ooh. R, and then we have an E hanging out inside the R, just like we had that U there. R, E, And then we have this thing. So even though this looks like Y on the line with, well, or a Y stem with TH stem, it's actually broken here, and it's just the line ending on this M, because 1, 2, 3 lines on a circle inside the circle is an M. So M, continue around, here's the E, here's another M, 1, 2, 3 lines on this M, and then here we have a B stem with nothing on it, so it's a B with an E in the middle of that, and then 1, 2, 3 dots on the R. So yeah. R-U-N, run. Y-O-U-U. K-L-E-V-E-R, clever. B-O-Y, boy. A-N-D, and R-E-M-E-M-B-E-R. Remember, run, you clever boy, and remember. Woo!